Hello everyone, this is Keith Young, and I would like to welcome you to this teaching on the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system works in conjunction with the law of attraction, and the law of attraction would probably not work without it. Most people are not aware of the reticular activating system, and if they are, they do not usually understand completely how it works or why it works. I hope to help you understand how and why it works so that you can start using it more effectively with the law of attraction. So let's get started. So just what is the reticular activating system? It is a bundle of nerves at the base of the skull. It has several functions, but I am only going to talk about one function today. The one that I am going to talk about today is the ability to filter out information, like images and words and conversations, etc. It is the filter between what you are hearing and your subconscious mind. Sort of acts like a gatekeeper, similar to a secretary. The secretary is the filter and gatekeeper to an executive. The secretary decides who gets to see her boss, and her boss depends on her filtering out the ones that would be a waste of his time at this particular moment. Now, we have all witnessed the reticular at work. Let's say we go shopping for a new car. No, not a Bentley. I can't afford a Bentley. So let's say I do some research on one of the new hybrids, like the Prius, using that as an example. It seems like this is the car that I really want to look at from all the research I've done. So I would like to go out and test drive it. So for the next few days, I'm driving around in traffic. So as I'm driving in traffic, and I'm driving around, do you know what I'm noticing? No, not a Bentley. Now, what I'm noticing is all the Priuses that are on the road. Now, did they just magically appear? Did all of a sudden everyone in town go out and buy a Prius and now they're all out there? No, they were there all the time. But now that I've done my research, my reticular was set for a Prius. See, it filtered out. I put into my subconscious mind that I am interested in a Prius. So I let my subconscious mind know that I'm interested in this, and my reticular was activated to notice every Prius out there that were there all the time, but I was not noticing them. So let's say you are in a crowded room, maybe at a convention or a party, and there are people all around you, and they are in conversations all around you. You know the noise of a crowd when everyone is talking at the same time. In fact, you are in a conversation yourself, talking with someone, and you're not paying any attention to any of the conversations around you as you are engaged in your own conversation. You're focusing in on your conversation and what the person you are talking to is saying. Now, earlier in the day, let's say you were thinking of a certain song and maybe even singing it around the house. Then, from behind you, you hear somebody mention something about that particular song and some of the words that they were trying to remember. You turn around and you tell them the words that they're trying to think of, and then you just turn back around, continue your own conversation. So how is it that even though you were not paying any attention to anyone around you, that you heard that? That is because your gatekeeper or your filter, which is your reticular, allowed that to come through. You set your reticular to that song and that particular singer. So maybe earlier in the day, you loaded into your subconscious mind that particular song. And it could be one song from a certain artist, and you happen to like that artist, and every time you hear songs in the distance or on the radio, let's say, that you just automatically stop and allow that to come through to your conscious mind. You could be scanning the radio channels for a song, and you just happen to hear that song or that artist, so you stop what you're doing and just listen to that, because your reticular is activated now and scanning for that type of song and that person. So even though you maybe were in a lot of conversations going on around you in a lot of different subjects, you did not hear any of those. Your filter then was in place and not allowing those in, because you did not set your reticular to any of those topics that those people were talking about. But by setting your reticular earlier in the day, that particular song by that particular person, you set your reticular in motion to allow your filter to allow that particular song or artist or anything that you set your reticular to go through and let your conscious mind hear it. I hope that makes sense. What happens is your subconscious mind is like a sponge, and it is picking up and entering data from all over. It is in a constant state of receiving, and it is constantly filtering for what is programmed in there as to what your interests are. And it only receives something that you are interested in. Then it sends it to the conscious mind, where you can become aware of whatever it is sending, and this is where your decisions are made. You see, we have two minds, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Most of you are aware of this. But what you may not know is that our conscious mind can handle 40 bits of data per second. Isn't that awesome? 40 bits of data per second. But our subconscious mind can handle over 40 million bits of data per second. See, we're constantly being bombarded with data from all over, from what we're hearing, what we're seeing. And that's why it is important to set your gatekeeper, the reticular, to the things that you want, to the things that you desire and are interested in. So you're probably asking yourself, what does this have to do with maybe focusing on your goals and desires on a daily basis? Well, what you are telling your subconscious mind is that this is of interest to you. You are telling that gatekeeper to let through any information that pertains to that particular thing that I've been reading about or focusing on my thoughts and desires. And once through to your subconscious mind, it will send to the conscious mind that information where then we can act on it or let it go. So your reticular is always listening to everything around it. In fact, it's almost like radar, scanning all around and listening for the right things to let through that gate. So anything or anyone that comes in the path of your radar, such as people, articles you read, television, conversations, etc., it will filter through those 40 million bits of data and only allow through the gate the things that you are interested in. So this way you don't have to worry about thinking about certain things all the time to get with what you want. Your reticular will filter through all of that for you. And how this will manifest itself is in new opportunities that have been there all the time, but you've never seen them and never noticed them, sort of like that car example we did a few slides earlier. Once you are not interested in that certain car, you usually don't see them on the road anymore. They were there all the time, but you just didn't see the ones that you were interested in. When you set your reticular in the form of either affirmations or your dream list or your goals or whatever list you want to call it, And by using a visualization process to get the emotion involved with what you desire, and by you focusing your thoughts on those by repeating them daily, you will then begin to see the opportunities out there that are currently there, so then you can start taking advantage of them. So the universe will then start supplying you the resources in the form of people or anything else that you can use to achieve your desired results. So it is not just like it will appear before you with whatever you are trying to achieve, with the opportunity for you to take action, and the universe will then supply you with everything you need for you to achieve your goal. It'll start putting people in your path that can help you get to your desired result. It'll start putting articles in front of you that will help you get to your desired result. Or maybe a television program, or whatever it is. It'll just start supplying you with resources. It'll become clear to you that you're recognizing more and more of these people and articles and programs and things like that were there all the time, but now that you've set that reticular and you're telling your subconscious mind that this is of interest to you, more and more things will start to appear in front of you. So that is how the law of attraction works, and the reticular works in conjunction with the law of attraction. You can create your own reality. You can deliberately create your own future rather than creating your future by default. So I hope that explains a little bit about how the reticular activating system works and how using it with the law of attraction will help you attract everything that you want in your life. Now, if you would like a free audio on the law of attraction basics, you can visit innergamemagic.com. And on the right-hand side, you will enter your name and email, and you can download a free audio that will teach you the law of attraction basics and start manifesting everything that you desire in your life. So again, I would like to thank you for spending your time and letting me educate you a little bit on the reticular activating system and the law of attraction. And remember, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. So start deliberately creating your future